Hi everyone, hope you're well. My name is Chris Smith. Welcome to day 23 of my saxophone journey. So I've been learning to play the saxophone now for 23 days, and today I'm just going to do a fairly quick one on scales. So I've kind of just over the last 2 or 3 days, as I've started to understand a little bit about music theory and the key that songs are written in, and the scales that you can learn to help you play songs in different keys. I've started to realise the importance of learning your scales. So rather than just the teacher say, you must learn your scales, it's really important, and you're thinking, why? What's the value in them? Now I understand them. It's more motivating for practicing them, because they're not super exciting, but really important. Anyway, so today I've learned a third scale, and basically the way that the scales work on a saxophone is a little bit different to, say, on a piano or a guitar, where the thing about scales is, as they get more and more complicated, if that's the right word, on the saxophone, you're having to use different keys, so specialist keys that you use for doing sharps and flats, whereas on a piano, it's just a combination of white and black keys. So the way I'm kind of learning is that I'm trying to learn the scales in order of simplicity. So the simplest one first, and then the next one and the next one. And the harder ones are the ones with just lots of sharps and flats in them. Anyway, so I'm just going to demonstrate the 3 scales that I've learned so far, because at least I can kind of show you a little bit as to how that's going. So the first one, which is a really simple one, the C major scale, there's no extra keys involved at all. It's really just the main keys that you use. The low C key, which is that one, with my little finger right at the bottom. That's the only kind of slightly unusual key that you use in this. So here it goes. It should sound something like this. So there we go. And I think a lot of the simple songs that you learn at the beginning, like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and Happy Birthday and things like that, are in the key of C, because it's quite simple. There's not too many complicated notes to learn. The next one I learned is the A minor scale. And the thing about the A minor scale is it's just using the main keys again, but you do use the octave key. So that is basically with the thumb rest, if you can just see on the back here, on I think most modern saxophones, there is the octave key, which is this one here, which just allows you to play effectively exactly the same notes, but one octave higher. So with the A minor, I'm not having to worry about sharps or flats, but I am having to use the octave key. So hopefully, if I get this one right, it should sound something like this. So that's the A minor scale. So the third scale that I've learned, so I'm just going to grab a quick swig of water. The third scale that I've just learned is the G major scale. Now the G major scale is kind of the least of the more complicated ones, in that it just has one sharp that you need to use, which is the F sharp. And from a saxophone point of view, that's a relatively simple sharp key, because it's just, you're using the same fingering that you normally do. So it's the kind of the 3 keys on the bottom there. And normally to do an F, you compress the 3 on your left hand at the top, plus the E and the F key. For an F sharp, it's simply, you're just pressing the F key on its own. You don't press down the E key. So it's not a complicated one in terms of extra keys that you're having to press or anything like that. It's just slightly a different combination of keys. So anyway, I'll have a go at doing the G major scale, see if I can remember that one now. Oh, that doesn't sound quite right. Hold on, I'm going to try that once more. And that's interesting actually, because I think as you start to learn the scales, you can kind of you can tell from the sound whether they're right or not, which I think probably 3 weeks ago I wouldn't have been able to. Or I might have thought, that doesn't sound quite right, but not know why. Oops, sorry. Oh, okay, I figured it out now. I'm playing the F instead of the F sharp. Sorry, third time lucky. So there you go. I said it was the simpler version of the key, but you still have to get your fingers right for it to do that. So that was the G sharp scale. So I'm going to be practicing that over and over again. Obviously, it's really important to kind of get the different notes that you play in a particular key. So that's in the key of G, obviously, as kind of embedded as possible. So that then, as you're learning songs in those keys, it should be fairly simple because it's like that subset of notes that you're having to play. Anyway, guys, I hope that you found that useful. Sorry I don't have a song for you today. I am practicing the song I played for you yesterday. I want to try and get that a little bit better so that when I do play it for you, you can kind of see that it's a little bit better than it was last time. Anyway, have a fantastic day. I hope you're really well, and I'll catch up with you in the next day or two. Bye for now.